Hey guys, it's me, it's Ivonne Elizondo from Silver Moon Astrology and Transpersonal Counseling, also known as Silver Moon Counseling. So I'm here, this is number 3 video. I recorded the new moon video in Pisces earlier today, and I also shared my thoughts on this Jupiter and Neptune in Pisces energy that we are working with. And this video is number 3. It deals with the shenanigans that is going on in Capricorn and how this is really more manifesting externally more than anything, in my opinion. It's also manifesting internally, but you can really see this externally. So we have stuff going on in Capricorn. We're going to talk about Pluto, we're going to talk about Mars, and we are also going to talk about Venus. And so on Venus pertains to love and the heart and connection and finances and other stuff, right? But it really is about the heart. And so if you've seen some of my other videos, you know that I was dealing with some heart issues here the last month or so. And so I went for an echocardiogram, which is like a ultrasound of the heart. And I get there, I've never had one before. I get there and the tech is super professional. I think he was probably a Virgo. No offense, but I think he was probably a Virgo. And so I get there and I'm like kind of joking with him, right? And I said, yeah, this is awesome. We officially get to prove to my ex-husband that I actually do have a heart. Yeah, he didn't think I was funny, like at all. Like he just kind of looked at me like I was dense. And some of you may know my ex-husband, and some of you know that my ex-husband and I, we are really good friends. And I actually shared this comment with him and he was just cracking up. He thought it was hilarious. So to that tech, seriously, Virgo energy, so serious. Okay, let's take a look at the chart that I want to talk about here for today. And we're not dealing with Virgo energy. Okay, we are dealing with Capricorn energy. Yay. All right, so this is the chart for today, March the 2nd. Okay, it is the new moon today. We talked about that earlier. There's the new moon stuff going on, but and the Neptune and Jupiter stuff. But this is the energy that I want to talk about. Okay, so let me just explain what's going on. Everything today, as far as Pluto, okay, Mars, and Venus, they are all situated at that 27 degrees. Okay, 27 degrees. So they are literally lined up in Capricorn. Now, the fascinating part about this is this 27 degrees is where Mars is exalted. It does its absolute best in Capricorn, and especially in the 27th degrees. So this is absolutely fascinating. So I'm just going to give you a quick little rundown of how this is, potentially showing up. But so we have this energy of Pluto, right? And Pluto intensifies, it takes things to the extreme, kind of like my daughter. Like when you say something to my daughter and she comes back with like these extreme comments, right? Pluto is that intensification. It takes things to extreme, either really big or really microscopic. And it likes to break things down to the bare bones, to the bare minimum. It is the destroyer, right? It is the transformer. And in order to transform, you usually need to destroy, okay, or break down whatever it is that you're needing to transform. So that's the energy of Pluto. And in Capricorn, Pluto really represents the essence of like the government, the hierarchy, the top-down structure, right? It's the foundation of that. And just think, most of the governmental structures globally are very much Capricorn based. Now, it also represents economy and so forth. But so we have this Pluto energy in Capricorn that's been going back and forth for a while, and it's going to, tiptoe in and out of Aquarius here sometimes next year. But in May of 2022, it stations, it stops, and it retrogrades in Capricorn again, and then it moves forward. So it does this dance back and forth until next year. And I think at the end of March or beginning of April of 2023, it tips its toe into Aquarius and it comes back to Capricorn, and it kind of does this dance in Capricorn. But so we're going to have this Pluto energy in Capricorn for another few years, okay? So again, it's transformation of all of that Capricorn theme essence, government, structure, laws, rules, boundaries, okay, all of that is being transformed. I mean, just look at our society right now, look what's going on, and not just here, but globally. Now, the interesting thing is that Capricorn is ruled by Saturn, and Saturn represents boundaries, right? So again, Capricornian energy and boundaries, and Pluto is breaking that down. And now we have Mars and Venus together, and they've been together for about 6 weeks or so, I think, but they're going to be together for about a total about 2 months or so. And don't come at me if my dates are wrong. Focus on the now, people, right now. Let's not talk about the past. Let's talk about the now, okay? I don't have my chart with me because it's over there and it's charging. So anyhow, so Venus and Mars have been together in Capricorn, and they've come to this place where they're exact alignment, right? Exact conjunction. And it's at that 27 degrees. And so what we see with Mars, Mars is exalted in Capricorn. Mars is about action. It's about getting things done. It's about movement. It's about initiation. It's about, just focus and doing. Motivation is the word I'm looking for. And in Capricorn, Capricorn energy is that it's ambitious. It's the goat that climbs the mountain. It's, it gets accomplishes goals, right? It's the worker. It's one of the working zodiacs of the zodiacs. It's one of the zodiac signs of the zodiac that is the very, very focused on work ethic. Okay, there we go. And so Mars does really well in Capricorn in general, but especially at this 27th degree. And it's a technical, it's a different approach. I'm not going to go into that, but it does really well. And then Venus, we have Venus in Capricorn, and Venus, one of the themes that Venus represents, as I said earlier, is finances and money and those aesthetics and those things that we, appreciate and we love and we value. And Capricorn is very careful with its things, right? It's about resources. So it gathers up resources, it gathers up those valuables, and it holds on to them. And so these three energies are interplaying collectively, not just in our own experience, but also, I mean, just look at what's going on, right? Like what's going on globally. Like we cannot not talk about Ukraine, right? And so the theme of this, though, and I mentioned this in the new moon video, and I'm not trying to scare anybody, okay? But when we look at astrology, now we want to look back. Now we can look back because I have more specific dates, okay? When we look at astrology, right, the beginning of World War II, and I think it was September 19th, along those days. I know it was 4:45 a.m. I do remember that. Okay, we have this exact alignment between Pluto and Mars. Now, I'm not saying that we're going to enter World War III. That's not the point of mentioning that. What I am saying, though, is that astrology is cyclical. And so it's almost as if we have been placed right back into this theme of boundaries not being respected, right? We have, Putin coming in and doing his thing, right? And so these boundaries are not being respected. And typically, thematically, what we see when Pluto and Mars come together is that there is some sort of conflict that needs to be resolved. Now, the manner in which it's resolved, well, hopefully it will be peaceful because Venus is in there. Venus represents that collective unity, right? And so I'm really crossing my fingers and being hopeful, especially with that Jupiter-Neptune energy in Pisces, that this will resolve as peacefully as it can, okay? I mean, considering what we're dealing with, right? But there's that theme again of that Mars and Pluto. So when Mars and Pluto come together, it is just, we just have to hold on, right? But on a positive note, I'm going to show you the planets because this is actually pretty cool, and we can take, some breath here. If you notice as of today, okay, what you will notice is that all of the planets are on this side of the zodiac, right? In this sphere. And what happens is that as they're moving this way, the planets will be moving this way. Pluto is going to essentially be all by himself for a really, really, really long time. Okay, these planets are going to move this way. These planets are going to move this way. Now, they will start to make aspects. Okay, they will start to make aspects with Pluto, but they're not going to be in direct contact with Pluto, like a conjunction, which is a pretty big placement. So big aspect. Okay. So what do we do with this? Well, here on the 5th, Mars and Venus together, because they kind of are enjoying each other too much right now that they don't want to separate, they're going to ingress into Aquarius. And so the theme, that Capricorn theme, that Mars in Capricorn, that's working probably pretty efficient in a lot of people's lives right now, especially depending on where you have Capricorn in your chart, it switches over to Aquarius, an air sign. And Aquarius is also ruled by Saturn, but there's a different vibe to it because it's not an initiating sign like Capricorn. It's not cardinal. It is fixed. And so Mars in an air sign sometimes doesn't go anywhere. So you will see the theme change. You'll feel the energy change. So from now until the 5th, which you have 2 days, whatever you got to do to complete whatever it is you're doing, do it. Seriously, because the energy is really going to shift. So anyhow, that's the shenanigans going on in Capricorn. Again, praying for everybody in the Ukraine, trying to send that love, that peace. It's a time for spirituality. It's a time of conscious spirituality. And yeah, that's pretty much it. If you want to learn more about your astrology or maybe how this energy taps into your personal chart, let me know. If you're seeking mental health services, especially here in Texas, let me know. Life coaching, okay, transpersonal spirituality, therapy, let me know. You can find me at silvermooncounseling.org. That's silvermooncounseling.org. And yeah, thanks everybody. I'm going to go put a cough drop in my mouth because yeah, and it's a good thing I have a heart. All right, take care, everyone. Blessed be.